Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, we have a little problem in the financial sector of not only the United States of America, but it's a global issue. I think it's going to be a little domino effect unless these weasels will really bail these banks out. They will not call this a bailout, they will call it differently. Transfer of money, transfer of funds, a little bit of help. It's not going to be the taxpayers, but eventually the bill will be given to the taxpayers in the long run through inflation and little taxes. You're going to see that. What happened? If this little weasel bank called whatever Silicon Valley Bank is an important bank, well, how about Credit Suisse? And that's a very important bank. That's in the center of how should I put it? The devil. That's right in the middle of it. That's in Switzerland. Not that Switzerland is a devil country, but the whole system has ramifications, I think, going deep into Switzerland. The fact that Switzerland was not attacked by the Germans in 1940s, that tells me a lot about their neutrality or being allowed to function. It was basically what happened. We'll let you, we're going to use you, and we allow you to be independent and neutral. Well, obviously the story goes differently. If you ask the Swiss, they will tell you no, they were afraid of us. Okay, well, however you want to say it, the fact is that a lot of banks converge, the banking system converged in Switzerland as in London and New York. But anyway, let's see what's going on here in this little article. It's very important because they tell us who's going to pay the bailout, that they will not call bailout, okay? They will call help or lifeline or something like this. So this article comes from Reuters via MS. Credit Suisse, $54 billion. That's about how much Ukraine got so far or something. Ukraine from, just mocha, nothing. So $54 billion, Lifeline offers limited respite to global banks. Respite to global banks. Just a limited, right? They need more, maybe about like 300 billion, I would guess, but that's just my number. We'll see. Credit Suisse, hey, what is going on with you? Reuters, Credit Suisse sought to shore up its liquidity and restore investors' confidence on Thursday by borrowing. They borrowed up to $54 billion from Switzerland's central bank. Through the move, proved to offer only limited respite to global banking stocks. What if Credit Suisse just say goes bankrupt and they borrowed from these guys? What's happening? Then what? Oh, let's see what the Switzerland Central Bank does. So this is the chief of Switzerland's National Bank, Mr. Thomas Jordan. He's a Swiss economist, but his name is Jordan. Nothing wrong with that. Don't be so upset with me. I'm just noticing the obvious. He's a Swiss, Thomas J. Jordan. All right, and he is of what? Swiss National Bank. Let's see, what are you guys up to? And I'm going right here, ownership. You see here, mixed ownership, around 78% owned by Swiss public. Hey, people, you're tangled with, recognize this one? So you and you are together. All right, so the rest are publicly traded in SIX. Chairman Thomas Jordan, this is the guy. He is, by the way, did you notice? I'm going to go back. Did you notice where he's at right here? Jordan speaks at the World Economic Forum of 2021. What's that? Is that the Davos or what is it? This is, what is it? I don't know, but he's right here. The WEF is most known for its annual meeting at the end of January in Davos. But it's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. No, nothing wrong with that. It's just they have to. I mean, they're important people. All right, let's move back with these guys who screwed up, to put it mildly. So, and again, this guy is borrowed from you, not from everybody else. And I wonder what happens when they will not be able to return the money. The Swiss lender is the first major global bank to be thrown an emergency lifeline since the 2008 financial crisis. So you got, remember, they were not bailed out. No, they're just thrown an emergency lifeline. Poor people, you know. No. Anyway, and its troubles have raised serious doubts over whether central banks will be able to sustain aggressive interest rate hikes. Why do they need to sustain this? Because of the high inflation. Who caused the high inflation? Vladimir Putin. That's how the story should go. That's what you need to know about it. However, the European Central Bank raised interest rates by 50 basis points on Thursday as flagged, stressing the resilience of the Euro area banking sector while assuring it had plenty of tools to offer liquidity support if needed. And this is how they offer that, by printing something or just click on their little keyboard and making some numbers. Anyway, the European Central Bank said it was monitoring current market tensions closely and stands ready to respond as necessary to preserve price stability and financial stability in the euro area. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the stability they're talking about, I don't think they really want. There are a lot of people who are called Soros that don't like stability. That's why they leave. These little sharks are called, investors and all that. That's where they like instability. That's what they like. Why? Because that means they can profit by speculating the market. And if the market is clear and stable, they can really speculate things. But if it's unstable and, all this, oh my God, that's a gold mine right there. Credit Suisse shares were 19% higher at 1558 GMT, recovering some of their 25% fall on Wednesday. 25%, thank you very much. Shares of major U.S. banks bounced from recent lows, with JP Morgan Stanley and Bank of America all up more than 1%. Okay. Yeah, you got to raise 1%. The inflation is 20%. Yes, you are catching up. On Thursday afternoon, while the benchmark S&P 500 banks index recovered 0.9%. Yeah, that's good. Better than nothing. Let's go with that one. Among mid-sized and regional banks, First Republic, PacWest Bancorp, Fifth Third Bancorp, Western Alliance Bancorp, and Key Corp all lost ground. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, let's go back here. What's his name? Jordan, okay? Said the country's banking systems remain sound thanks to decisive and forceful actions following the, collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. In order to be decisive and forceful, you have to be courageous and strong. I don't think you, mofo, are any like that. You're just a pussy, that's what you are, okay? And you're pussified group that are in charge of this little world. In Europe, the region's banking index was up 0.9% by 1530 GMT after days of heavy losses due to the investors' fears over potential bank stresses across the world. Not doing very well, huh? The unease spread beyond the financial sector, of course, with German corporate treasurers urged by the Industry Association not to underestimate the current situation. Nope, you're right off the cliff. You're losing balance. I gotta tell you that. Since March 8th, before last week's collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, European banks have lost around $165 billion in market value. Well, it's okay, but you give Zelensky, he needs it. That's why he's gonna get a lifeline, whatever. Policymakers have emphasized that the present situation is different than the global financial crisis, as bankers are better capitalized and funds more easily available. From where the freaking funds are available? They're going to just push on their little keyboards. Allianz, one of the Europe's biggest financial firms, said authorities were, and I'm quoting, well equipped to deal with any liquidity crisis, unlike what happened during the global financial crisis 2008-2009. These guys are just trying to calm down the public. That's what they try to do. And probably they're going to say whatever is necessary to calm down the weasels who are going to do another bank rush. And not only that, but they will start questioning aid that goes to certain locations. Credit Suisse said it would exercise an option to borrow up to 50 billion Swiss francs, $54 billion from Swiss National Bank, which confirmed it would provide liquidity to Credit Suisse against sufficient collateral. What, buildings or people too? The move followed assurances from Swiss authorities that Credit Suisse met the capital and liquidity requirements imposed on systematically important banks. Okay, we'll see if that's going to happen or not. The bank's stock market value has fallen by 90% since its peak in February 2007 of around $91 billion to around $8.66 billion, following a prolonged slide in its shares. Well, this is what you do when you do too much hanky-panky. And epicenter. Epicenter. Here's the epicenter right here. The 167-year-old bank's problems have shifted the focus from investors and regulators from the US to Europe, where Credit Suisse led a bank share sell-off after its largest investor said it could not provide more funds due to regulatory constraints. Oh, okay. So this is the article that, trying to cover for some and tries to tell us that, hey, everything is okay, don't you worry. Just go to work, watch the stupid shows, drink your beer, and keep quiet, okay? You can have sex if you want from time to time, and that's about it. Unbelievable, man. There are some people on the far left, let's put it far left instead of saying communist, straight, where they say, we are actually like slaves on global plantation right now. And sometimes it makes you wonder if that's not true, looking at how these guys are, turning millions and, having all kind of, I'm about to say, certain things. And we're just making it from day to day. And then they take our money and give it to someone else just because we supposedly, whatever. It's just, that's the way it is. And you're happy with what you have, and you hope that they don't come to your house and take your, TV or your laptop or whatever. The freedom of speech is already wherever it is, because if you say something, they take the financial ability to support your family. That means like firing, and then you find a job when you bring the 3 references from the job that fired you, the business that fired you, and say, I'm going to see what is available for you. You're going to compete with the newly immigrants. They're going to work hard and for less that you could afford. Therefore, you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your kids going to do sports or whatever other activities they do. Basically living a life that you used to. It happened. I saw that in my life. And you compete with these guys. And how are you going to compete? I know from direct experience. When I came here with nothing, I would have worked as a teacher half paid, as the teachers were. But they say, whoa. We have here a little, group called unions and associations, and they will not allow you to compete with us. So yeah, we like illegal immigrants or immigrants because they can't compete with us. They will compete with the pipe layers. They will compete with truck drivers, constructor workers, maids, people that mow your grass, but not with the teachers, professor, nah. Engineers and so on. And that's why they're so open-heartedly, yeah, let's everybody come over here. I'm not threatened at all. And hey, I pay taxes, so I should say this. Yeah, you should say that. Why don't you take a few in your house and get about 5 families? No. When you talk directly to them, you're going to find out. The same with these bankers. We're just, we see the consequences of these guys who actually rule our, economic prosperity or lack of, if they choose. And what do? They continue to have their golden, not golden shower, but golden parachutes. and they will be just fine. The 2008 was a clear example of that, and my clearest example was the General Motors. Not only that was a clear example, I knew the General Motors was working in a deficit, not in a profit, deficit. I know they were having bonuses. I know because I knew people who worked in the General Motors, and they would get bonuses. You were like, what the hell is this? And your company is bankrupt basically, and then got bailed out, and then again bonuses and all that. Good job, yeah. And the rest of us just paid more, no more pensions, and so on. Devaluation, houses, pensions, life in general. But it's okay. The guys from the General Motors still got bonuses. Good job. Why? Because they had to get the bonuses. From whose money? Bailout money. From whom? Do you think this is not going to be different? No. Do you think this is going to be different? No, it's going to be different. It's not. They're just going to use euphemisms. And they're going to think, instead of saying, hey, you're going to be up, no, you're going to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, you're going to be, you're not going to have fun. But they tell you, the other one, we're going to have fun, not you. You're going to be into it in some fun. Yeah, fun, but you're going to be at the receiving end. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just, my friends. Go and work.